It's always raining. For as long as people can remember, clouds have covered the sky and rain has fallen. Storms are frequent in this area, and the ruined keep is currently being battered by high winds and torrential rain, with 20-foot waves crashing on the rocks below. Meanwhile, under the relative safety of the jungle canopy, Harathia and Adalbert make their way slowly through the water-soaked leaves and undergrowth. They're looking for signs of Princess Mernola, a passenger on a ship that anchored nearby. With no sign of the princess and only a dead crew, they continue to make their way through the jungle, hunting something. Harathia's shoulders brushes a heavy leaf, which immediately deposits a slosh of rain down his back. Adalbert has to constantly wipe the rain from his eyes as he peers into the jungle darkness, looking for signs of Alithia or Zemar, who rushed off towards the sound of screams. Out there somewhere is a creature, small in size, surrounded by thick darkness that swirls outwards and merges with the shadow of the night. And out there, somewhere, there were 4 elves, desperate to escape, dying off one by one. And now out there is Alithia in the shape of a wolf, riding full tilt through the leaves and branches, with Zemar hanging on for dear life. And that is where we'll pick up the session. So, Alithia, if you could give me a con check for your run.
It's my wolf con, right?
Yeah, you got a +1.
Oh, dirty 20.
That's a good start. All right, so yeah, you're piling along pretty fast. As I mentioned last session, Zemar, while average height is not terribly heavy, but still it's quite a weight for a wolf to carry. But you had a good roll to start off with, and you've been going a few rounds without problem, and you can go quite a few more rounds with that roll. And at the moment, you're pushing through this undergrowth and leaves and water is flying into your face, but you know the jungle very well, so you're actually moving pretty quickly.
Lethia, please, can we just slow down just for a moment? This is almost impossible to hang on, please.
And then I'll go faster.
All right. So, at this point, I'm going to introduce something that is fairly typical in my campaign, but we haven't done this before. Harathia and Adalbert, I would like you to turn your sound off so that you can't hear the Twitch stream. I will do this for a yes. Okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. So, this is just for Mads and Mr. Harris. So we have one. So you started off sort of heading in a northwest direction from where you started. I'm now going to switch to a different map.
I love your maps, they're so beautiful.
Thank you. All right, so
Jungle ones are, it looks like a tabletop. Sorry.
there is lightning and storm above you. Heavy rain, so heavy now that it's falling off the leaves, and so you are soaked through. The lightning is creating brief flashes of white everywhere. And as you come storming through this area of jungle, you come to some rocks on your right-hand side with trees and ferns and things on top. There's a heavy foliage tree behind you, but ahead of you is thick grass and some opening. And instinctively you slow down at this point because you feel like there's something wrong. And in the lightning, there's a flash, and you can see suspended in the air is a woman with an Asian face. She's got dark copper skin, bright blue eyes, so bright that they actually burn hot blue. She has 6 arms. The arms are dark leather scales from the forearm downwards, and they end in long claws. But on the side of each arm is a white bone with an edge to it, a blade. And she's currently hanging in midair, looking in your direction, slightly hunched over from the weight of these 6 arms hanging down, and her long black hair sort of falling over the edge of her neck.
Question. DM.
Yep.
So I'm obviously a wolf and I cannot speak. But how much like the Astravi do these look?
So the arms look exactly like the Astravi arms. They are very similar to Lady Leocane. No, you didn't see
I
her.
was about to say that. Yes,
di-
she hasn't, but I have. I was about to ask you, does she look like Lady Leocane? Okay.
Yeah, her arms do. However, Lady Leocane only had 2. This woman has 6. She's very short. She's 5 something. And just to finish the description, she's wearing a quite beautiful blue silk dress with white lace patterning around the neck and around the sleeves that has been fairly badly torn and is now splattered in blood. Now, I do have to point out, Mads, that when you're in wild shape, you don't take on dark vision.
No, I don't.
So currently, it's very hard to make out anything. You just had this brief glimpse in the lightning, this white sheet lightning that suddenly lit up this opening in the jungle, and you just saw this woman hanging there, and now it's up to you because it's time to roll initiative.
Oh no! Wait, so I have to roll initiative?
Yes.
Okay, that was a 1, so 3.
14.
So he was doing his usual and being incredibly slow.
Okay.
14.
All right. So, Alithia, you actually do go first.
Does she, like in a split second, does she look like she is aggressive and wants to attack?
Roll insight.
Oh, it's my own insight, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's wisdom
An
based.
insight's
Yeah.
wisdom, so that would be 13.
13. Okay. You can't pick up much in that brief glance, but what you can say is that she looks exhausted. She looks like she's breathing heavily. The blood that you can see on her is probably from battle. Her own blood, you can see wounds on her, but right now they're just sort of dark, almost scratches that you can see. You can't see any blood, but she certainly looks quite injured, and so you have to draw your own conclusions.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like go flat on the ground. So not like as if I'm going to crouch, but like, you know, when dogs belly flop, with like their legs all out. So it's a non-threatening pose.
Okay.
and I'll whine, being like,
I'll ask a quick question. How far had we travelled through the jungle?
You've been 4 rounds, so at a full dash, which is 40 for a wolf, so 80, 320 feet.
320 feet. Do I think I could shout? 320 feet's worth.
You can certainly shout, however, it's a difficult thing to hear because of the noise, the storm overhead.
Yeah.
I do need to add some storm. So you've laid yourself flat. That's not really an action or movement, so is that the only thing you want to do on your turn, or is there something else you want to do?
can I try speaking in wolf to this person?
You don't automatically learn a creature language, but obviously you've been doing a lot of communication with various creatures, and I'm sure because of Bran's presence, wolf would be something you tried to pick up.
Okay,
so you could do very simple. So imagine that you're going abroad somewhere and you never learn Spanish, but you know like how to order a beer or something. It's a bit like that.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to say, we no hurt. Are you okay? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Roll persuasion.
My own persuasion. I'm bad at persuasion. Can I take a wolf's persuasion?
It is charisma, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's massively better though.
So, I mean, mine's a -2.
So
so it is probably better then.
So you're not speaking. How are you?
Oh, that's
doing this?
-2
You're
as a
doing this
wolf
with
as
body
well.
language or something.
I'm saying it in wolf.
She's trying to say it in wolf.
Right.
She's growling, basically. That's what you hear. I'm afraid a wolf's charisma is -2 as well, so...
Okay, fine. That's a 14.
14, okay. That doesn't seem to be effective.
How surprising.
Now, initiative-wise, she is before you, Zamar?
Mm-hmm. Right, everybody will be before me on one, I would expect.
So you have dark vision, so you can currently see her shape and a lot of the details from where you are. You can't see the colour so easily of things, but on her turn, she suddenly extends shadow from her that expands rapidly and becomes that darkness that you're so familiar with. And the darkness then moves quickly towards you. And you can feel her breath and the stink of her leathery scales, that kind of Astravi smell that Alithia experienced before. And she is attacking. And she has 6 attacks.
Jesus. 6.
That's 2 11s and an 8 so far. 21.
Okay, well that hits,
And a 20.
obviously.
Wait, is it going for me?
It's attacking Zamar, who is currently above you, effectively. Okay, so you take 8 points of damage, slashing damage from the first attack.
Mm-hmm.
and 24 points of slashing damage from the crit.
24. Okay, I'm gone.
All right.
Can't even see. Wait, okay.
So, Alithia, all you feel is the pressure and the weight of Zamar, who was sitting on your back, suddenly leave, and you can't hear anything because you are also in a silence. So all you get is a sensation of Zamar falling off you somewhere to your side.
I'll take a reaction for anything. I don't have a reaction for that.
Yeah. I'm just going to send Mr. Harris a direct message.
You're dead.
I can't spell, but you'll have to put up with the bad typing. All right, so that was all the actions. Movement. The darkness moves off again and heads off in this direction. It also lifts up quite high and is now in midair, where before she'd obviously dropped down to attack Zamar. Yeah, so she disappears out of sight from you. At this point, Mr. Harris, could you mute the stream, and we'll communicate by Discord if we need to. So
Okay,
I'll keep an
turn the
attention
sound
on
off.
your Discord.
Should I turn the sound off, or should I hide the video?
Oh no, you don't need to hide the video. Just turn the sound off. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Feel free to engage with chat if you want to. All right, Alithia, it's your turn.
Okay, so I am going to go rooting in his pockets.
You're going to look for Zamar on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the darkness is gone now.
Yeah, but you are in darkness. It's nighttime, and apart from the occasional lightning flash, you can't see anything because you don't have dark
He's right
vision.
next to me, right?
He is, yeah. So you put your hand out, you quickly find him.
Yeah.
So roll investigation. What are you looking for?
No. So I want to use smell to find where the good berries are.
Okay.
That's perception?
Yes, with advantage.
That was shit. So there's a 9 and a 10, so that makes 15.
15, okay, yeah. You created them. You know the smell very well. As a wolf, you can instantly identify it. So moving through the belongings and finding a good berry is quite easy. You do indeed find some, and I'm going to say because of the roll and because of your familiarity, that doesn't count as an action. That is a pick up an item, a free action.
I'm going to pick up the good berry, and then I'm going to try and open his mouth. He's unconscious. This will be easy to do. It's not like he's seizing. So I'll just open his mouth and I'll drop a good berry in.
Okay, roll medicine.
It's my medicine. I'm still like me, not a wolf medicine.
Correct.
Fuck, I'm rolling like shit, man. 7.
Okay. Yeah, obviously that Zamar was badly injured during that attack. A lot of very sharp cuts, drew blood. He's kind of devastated by that attack. You put the Gabri in. It's just the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will let him know. What do you want to do with the rest of your turn?
That is my turn.
You still have movement.
Oh, no, I'm not going to, like... Okay, can I try and, like, get underneath Zamar and try and pick him up?
As I mentioned before, as soon as you start moving, the problem is that there's nothing to keep him on your back. So the most likely thing is that he's just going to fall off, or you can move extremely slowly.
I'll move slowly.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll a dex just to do this because you're technically in mid-combat.
That isn't terrible. That's a +2. So wait, no, it's the wolf's dex, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's 18.
18. Okay. And then where do you want? Which direction do you want to go?
I want to follow my nose to follow this stinky lizard Astravi.
You're going to follow her?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you half movement, which is 20, right? As a wolf?
Yeah.
Okay. You follow her.
Wait, but yeah, because I've done a movement already. Done an action already.
Yeah. Okay. At the end of your turn, she takes one legendary action
Oh!
and comes back again. It is now her turn. And she's going to attack you as well.
Is she alive? Sorry, is Zaymar alive?
Yes. But your medicine check was so poor that you're unsure of his exact condition. He's definitely alive. The good berry worked.
Good.
Wow. These rolls are super bad.
Oh, good.
Except for the 20s, which pop up. Okay, so there's a 20, there's a 21 and a 23.
Those are bad rolls.
Yeah.
Yep, they all hit.
All right, so 10 points of damage, 11 points of damage, and 24 points of damage.
So I've not. Oh shit! I've not had this before. When I'm in wild shape, if I get more damage,
It carries
then
over. Yeah.
it carries over. So how much in total?
Now you're asking me to do maths. Was it 11, 12, and a 24, I think. So 23 to 47.
Shit, hold on. So I lose all 11 from my wolf, and then I have 20, and then it was 11 points of damage for the second one, right?
11, 12, 24.
So I lose all 11,
Okay.
and then I drop down to 8, and then do I go negative, or do I just die?
You go to 0 if you're on there.
Okay, so I go to 0.
Yeah.
No death saves.
Yeah.
Well, until next time. Help me, Zema!
All right. So I'm going to ask Mads if you could also turn off your sound for the stream. I'm going to bring Chris Roberts and Adalbert back for their side of things.
Okay.
So just Mr. Roberts and Matt for now. Mr. Harris, if you could mute your stream.
Yep. Oh, mute my stream.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's cool.
That was a long time to go with no adoberation.
Yeah. All right. So for now, I do have your map, obviously, but I won't bother loading it unless we really need it. So the last thing that you were doing was you'd sent Bran off, who is... So Bran is a direwolf that follows Harathia around. Black fur with a white streak and a bad temper. Bran has gone off hunting. At least he's allowed to hit something, which he was quite annoyed about not being able to do before. Meanwhile, you and Adalbert are walking in the same direction that Zamar and Alicia went.
Wrath is maintaining a grumpy silence.
Okay.
Oh, Matt, you're muted.
Oh,
Matt.
you're muted, Matt.
I don't know if they expect me to run. I mean,
If they wanted us to run, fuck them. We ain't running.
no. Jungle's moist enough without perspiration. Unlike Zamar, though. Don't think he had much of a choice, but
He could have let go. I mean, never worked with such a bunch of fucking amateurs in my life.
at least you have me, Garcia.
Who says I wasn't including you?
I did.
Where the fuck is Braun? There's got to be something to eat round here for him. Can I hear anything?
No. All right. So Bran is hunting. That takes some time. You're strolling off in the direction of the other two. What's happening with them? It may not surprise you to know, is chunking in short periods of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like 6 seconds each chunk.
Approximately, let's say.
So I'm going to switch back to the other two.
Super.
Okay, so if you'd like to mute the stream, I'll do a thumbs up for you.
I'm just going to go grab my charger. So
Please do,
just a minute.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So you are coming to consciousness with a splitting headache and sharp pain all over the body from the blows that you succumbed to. However, a warm, fuzzy feeling has expanded from your mouth and your stomach and has spread to your body, which is the beginning of a healing process. But you're still severely injured. And you are currently on 1 hit point.
Okay, I roll over and whisper to myself, "That's the last time I ride a bloody wolf." Ugh. And then crawl quietly over and see if I can hide myself in the bushes, and just hide myself in the bushes, and I will. As you sort of look around and start crawling, you notice Ellie is lying there, also severely cut, blood welling from her wounds, lying unconscious on the ground in a pool of water. Okay, I will stealth move over to her and try and basically stabilize her.
Okay, roll stealth.
Natural 20. That's 24.
24. Okay. So I'll assume that all movement up until this point has been very cautious and kind of hidden as much as you can in the general waving of the trees and the leaves and so on around you. So you're sort of moving as subtly as you can over to her, and roll a medicine check for. You're stabling. How are you stabilizing her?
I never got any good berries on because I was upstairs on the boat, so
Right,
I
okay.
never got any.
All right, I need to check with Ellie to make sure that she's.
Unless there's any
Yeah, because like she's a wolf, so I don't know exactly how to get any good berries off her while she's a wolf, unless she's reverted. Is she still a wolf?
She is in her normal form.
Okay, so she looks like Ellie. Okay. If I can I remember where she would stow her good berries in those pouches or anything?
So we've got a slight logical problem at the moment because Mads thought you did have good berries. So the only reason you're conscious is because she thought you had good berries.
Oh, I think I may have. It's possible that I may have taken some from Matt. I think afterwards. I'm remembering 3 sessions ago, so
Yeah.
I think it's possible that
So
I just didn't want to.
I'm going to assume that you have some. Otherwise,
Okay.
this logic will break
In that
down.
case, I will use. In that case, I'll use my supply too.
Okay. So you're going to feed her a good berry.
Yes.
Interesting.
Not to do a medicine check. That would be bad.
Okay. Mads has just popped off, but she starts to regain consciousness as well. Roll a medicine check.
Me?
Yep.
Drat, I was trying to avoid that. medicine. Okay. 7.
7. That's the same roll that Mads rolled. It's
She's
dark.
supposed to be the doctor.
I know. It's dark. Everything's confusing. You're more worried about being spotted at the moment than anything else. So you don't spot the signs that you would otherwise do.
Yeah, I've got some cover for this. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mads, can you hear me? I sent her a message, but I'm going to put it in chat because that's probably what she'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe chat is the best place to put that, actually, for everyone.
Because
it's the only thing that people pay attention to.
I didn't say that
So, Mads, Alithia is beginning to come back to consciousness. You can.
Okay, I quietly put my hand over her mouth and like basically leave it over there. And as she comes through, I'm just going to be like.
Now, you do have dark vision because you are now an elf. So you can see Zaymar quite clearly.
Yes, the hand goes down even more forcefully, and I would imagine that given my recent proximity to Ellie and all the times that I would know her, I would know exactly how to keep her quiet when she... And then I'm going to be gradually like... hand away now. And then I gradually release it. It's like, speak quietly. We may still be watched. What happened? Again? It was... Oh, look. We need to get the others. I look around. Is there any sign of that black mass that just enveloped us?
You cannot see anything at the moment in the near vicinity, but roll perception for the rest of the jungle.
Disadvantage. That's amazing. 18 with disadvantage.
All right. So I'm just going to move this off because I just use that as a direction. Yeah, there's nothing visible at the moment. You said 18, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see anything currently.
We need to get a message to the others, but we need to protect them. I think we should leave here and come back. Can you move?
I can, but how many good berries did you give me?
1. That was all I had. I stole these off of Matt. Off of the... I stole these off of Adel there.
I gave you good berries. I gave you 10.
No, you didn't. I was upstairs on the ship when you were handing out the bountiful. Anyway, this is not the time to argue over who had good berries and who didn't.
Have some. I'll give him 5, and then essentially, are we still in combat?
No.
Okay, I'm going to. So I think I've got, because I've used some already. I think I've got 12 left over. So I'm essentially going to have them all, and spend the next.
That's going to take. Yeah, exactly.
I'll take 10.
I will take the good berries that I've got from Alethea, and I will say, stay here. I will come back. I'm going to get the others. Okay. And
no, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow him, but I can eat and follow.
Quiet. That's.
I'll speak quietly.
Okay.
So you're going to roll stealth then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealth, so I'm not going like. Just what?
It's more the walking that might give you away, not the chewing.
Exactly.
Stealth chew.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I will move as quickly as I possibly can.
Okay, before you can do anything, Alethea steps on a branch, which snaps, and her foot slips.
I mean, my stealth's not bad. That's a total of 3.
And she makes a rock hit another rock, and there's a loud cracking sound from both the branch and the rock. You can.
Am I still stealthed as well?
Yeah, I've just kept the same value.
Good. Thank you. Good too. I need everything going for me right now.
So you're back in initiative again. I'm going to count that as Alethea starts the round. Now she. But she was further away this time. So at the end of her turn, you just see this darkness rushing towards you out of the trees and the shadows. And there's a brief flash of lightning, and you can see this dark shape with tendrils of shadow pouring out of it, rushing towards your direction. How
many good berries have I managed to have?
At this point, 1.
Right.
So, Zaymar, it's now your turn.
Okay, so if I'm still stealthed, I am going to... Can I take one of those berries and hide, basically, move away from her?
Yeah, because you can bonus action hide, can't you? So, yes, you can do both.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking another good berry and then hiding?
I'm basically grabbing one off her and then sliding away further out of the range. So I'm moving quietly in the same way back into the bush and leaving her behind, but I'm grabbing one of her berries. So,
okay, northeast, south, or west from your current...
Oh, I guess I had... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I guess I had 7 anyway, so you gave me 7, didn't she? So, and I wouldn't have had time. I've had time to have 1, presumably.
So far, yeah.
Right, so I've still got 6. In that case, I just basically melt back into the shadows.
So you're going back into this area here?
Yeah.
Okay. How far do you want to travel?
It would basically be enough to get outside of the range of the darkness, effectively.
Okay. So probably the other side.
I still want to be able to keep eyes on her as a direct line of sight if I can.
On Alethea?
Yes.
Yeah, because her stealth was so bad, you can still see the outline of her shape as she's walking through the jungle.
Okay.
I'm running like shit tonight.
At the end of your turn, Mr. Harris, the creature takes a legendary action and moves in onto Ilithia. So Ilithia, you're now covered in magical darkness and magical silence.
Okay. So do I know how fast it can move from last time?
Roll intelligence, just a straight check.
All my dice hate me. That is a 5.
It's faster than you travel. That's all you can sort of guess from what you've seen so far. It's very hard to make out because she's covered in shadow and has been moving quickly in and out of this dark night jungle. So you don't know.
Actually, no, not a 5. 4.
It's faster than you is all you can discern.
What I'm just... Okay, I'm going to take a... Can I take an action?
Yeah, sure, it's your turn.
I'm going to take the dodge action and then shout out and be like, "Why are you trying to hurt us? We want to help you. I can hear you. Oh my God."
Okay, none of that sound comes out. As you move your mouth, there's just nothing.
I'm gonna try and run away and dodge.
Okay.
There we go. Run as far as I can.
Which direction do you want to go in?
That is a north.
You want to go north? Okay. 35, is it?
Actually, no. Hold on. Do I know roughly what direction we came from?
Yeah, you came from the south.
Yeah, no. I'll go to the direction we came from.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to, like, pairing off into the woods. It is 35, yeah.
Okay. All right, you're almost on the edge of the map. I should have started it somewhere else, shouldn't I? Anyway. Oops.
We'll just repeat. Maybe it's just a rolling map and it just comes around at the top again.
Yeah, it's yeah. All right. All right, so you've taken the dodge action. It's her turn, so that gives you 5, is it? I forget. Any attack rolls disadvantage, okay.
Not that is going to help.
Well, the way I'm rolling, well, so that's a okay. So it's a 17 or a 22. So 17.
You're not fucking heads. Oh my God.
Okay. That's a 21 and a 14. 14?
14 does not hit.
Okay, so 2 hits. But you're only on 1 good berry, aren't you? I think 1 hit point, right?
2 hit points. I had 1 good berry and then Zip gave me 1.
Okay, so before you make it out of the darkness and the silence, you feel a massive pain up your back, and there's a splat of blood against your neck, and that's the last you remember before you go unconscious again.
Saves. Okay, I'll go.
Simon, I'm just going to send you a quick message here.
Okay.
I had one, because I moved away, I had an action, so I was going to delay it, basically. Because I could use my bonus action to move away.
Good berry is an action. No.
Oh, good berry is an actual action.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, sorry. Okay, in that case, I'll do whatever I just sent you on the next action.
Okay. So I'm going to switch back to the terrible twosome.
Do you want to just? Could you just check the message that I just?
I've just seen it. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Fair enough.
I'm going to switch back to Mr. Roberts and Matt. Yeah, and I'll put in chat when I'm ready for you to come back.
Okay. I'll go mute.
All right, Matt. Mr. Roberts, do we have you?
Okay.
All right. They took a bit longer this time, so you have more time. Bran has returned with a small monkey. He is carrying the monkey with a broken neck in his jaw. And you're still walking through the jungle. There's been no sound that's unusual for you.
Okay. Well, I'll get out a knife and I'll carve some chunks of meat out of it.
Okay.
Chuck some to Bran, keep some for this luring this possible Destrave.
Okay.
Thank you, Hiraki. I'm not one for gutting and skinning myself.
No, I bet you ain't.
No, hold on. Give me a dissection table and something scientific, and I'm more than happy to explore. Just why prepare your own food when you have people to do it for you?
You don't always have people to do shit for you.
Yes, I do.
Well, look around you. Who's going to do it for you here?
Didn't you just skin my monkey for me?
I ain't doing it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Tell yourself that, Harathia. How far do you think they got to?
Quietly walking behind you, Adalbert, is Baha, your bodyguard. He's wearing very simple clothing that actually blends quite well into the jungle. And he's moving pretty quietly. And he taps you on the shoulder and leans forward a bit. I think less talking, more cautious movement. There's still things out here.
Cautious movement? You mean like legging it on the back of a fucking wolf? Jeez.
Who knows what's happened to them, but let's make sure it doesn't happen to us.
All right.
You are a man of wise words. Aha.
Thank you. All right, so you're moving along at a fairly relaxed pace, but you are moving. You now have a skinned monkey with you. How long are you going to go before you start worrying about the other two?
I could go all day without worrying about it. But if you're talking about how long before I start to think maybe they might be in trouble, it's probably round about now.
Okay.
So, out of there, they're bound to have got themselves in some sort of shit. I'm gonna speed up a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll start jogging.
And is it still possible to see wolf tracks or an evident path before us?
Alithia has crashed through the undergrowth. She's broken a lot of branches and so on. And so you do see the occasional paw print. Roll survival. Let's see how you're going to get on following.
Six.
It's definitely one of those nights. Yeah, you're not entirely sure you're following in the right direction. You do occasionally see broken foliage, but you're not 100% sure that it's Alithia. However, she did go off in a direction and appear to be just heading that way. So as long as you keep going in that direction, you should be fine. Harathia's broken into a run.
Big can a jungle be?
Harathia's broken into a run. Bran is lolloping along beside Harathia. What are you doing?
Oh. When we say run, right?
I did say jog.
That's true.
Okay, quick pace.
What, you think you're gonna beat me in a run, do you?
No, I'd rather not run. That's the point. It's warm enough already in this hellhole.
Take some clothes off then. Ain't rockets. No, they can't say rocket science, can they? Duh.
All right. As you break into a run, you will catch up fairly soon, but obviously you're still a little bit away from them. So I'm going to switch back. So if you could mute the stream and go and rejoin chat.
Met it. I haven't been joining the chat because I don't know if kind of there's commentary going on.
Oh no, that's a good idea. I'm sure. I don't think anyone has said anything, but
I've occasionally typed something in, but I've not been reading
Okay.
as much as I could help.
I just sit here and be pretty for everyone.
yeah. All right, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris?
Yep.
So what you told me happens, and there's sudden movement from her, and she heads off in this direction. And it's now your turn.
Does she? Can I see? Right. Okay. I maintain stealth, move quickly. So basically, I did that. That's an action, but I can still move, and I imagine I can probably pop. Can I put a googberry in somebody's mouth? Does that require an action, or can I use my just general?
Yeah, googberries are an action. Yeah.
Okay, so I will just move over there and see what state she's in, and basically, the moment I can, try to shove a googberry in her mouth.
Okay. Now, because you are very well hidden in the darkness at the moment, there's no reaction from the creature, and you reach the unconscious form of Alithia, and it's now her turn. Okay. So she disappears off in this direction. She's now out of your dark vision range, so you're not quite sure where she's gone.
Okay.
But she certainly moved off and doesn't seem to be in your area at the moment. So it's back to your turn again.
Okay, sent you another quick message, just as a quick question. But then I will, obviously, as soon as possible, just stuff a googberry in her mouth.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to bring Mads back again.
Okay, again, this time, hand over mouth. And then basically try and...
okay, so can you hear us then, Alithia? Mads? So,
Did I any death saves or anything like that?
no, I sent you a message, no. You don't have to. You've currently got a hand over your mouth from Zamar, who is a dark shadow looming over you.
And then I wait for and then I release it slowly, and then I'll lean forwards and whisper in her ear, "Do not make a movement or a sound again. I may not be here next time to help you. And then I lean back. Stay here. I will go and warn the others. Otherwise, they may fall the same fate as you. Stay here. Do nothing. If anything happens or you see it come back, shout. And then I... Yes? Good. Okay. Have some good berries. Right. And then I turn and I leave and I head back towards in the direction of where I think Horathia and Applebear were, or the direction that we came. And I will move stealthily, which obviously is half speed and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that I... Sorry, carry on.
Just before you start moving off, Alithia, the Goodberry is a sort of general heal. It's 1 hit point, which isn't a lot. You can feel intense pain coming from your the back of your ankles, and even without a medicine check, you know you have been cut. Your tendons are severed. You can't move on your legs currently. You're going to have to do something about that before you can move. Roll a con save to not make a noise in agony. 12. Okay, you just managed to keep your mouth taut, and the sound inside, it's really painful. You will have to deal with that before you can do anything.
Did I notice that?
No, you've been doing medicine checks for these sort of things. Unfortunately, you've been missing them.
Okay, I'm turning around and making to leave because I think she's okay. So
I'm going to use, like, I'm next to a tree or something, am I?
Yes, you're right next to a very thick foliage tree.
So I'm going to try and use Mask of the Wild to just kind of blend in as much as possible. Okay. Within my healer's kit, I can't believe I'm going to do this. Do I have, like, suturing material?
Yes.
I'm going to use my healer's kit to try and suture the tendons in that mush.
Okay. That kind of movement is quite awkward. It's hard to stay hidden while you're doing that. Obviously, Mask of the Wild will help to an extent, but it is not the same as staying still.
Okay, fine. What I'm going to do then in that case, I know that, right?
That's up to you whether Alithia knows that.
No, I think I'd know. I'd know the motions and things that I need to do, and it would be really awkward actually reaching that because it's like I won't have a clear field of view. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll your hit points? Meanwhile, Zaymar is moving off.
That's 12 plus 3 is 15.
15, okay. So yeah.
Does that heal the tendons?
Yes, that will be a full physical heal. So your body is back to normal, and plus you get the hit points. Yeah.
I'm going to check in on Marspan and make sure that Marspan's okay. And I'm just going to sit there really quietly and try not to be seen and just keep a beady eye out for this unnatural darkness.
Okay, so you're currently pressed up against, I would say, that the branches here. So your copper skin is blending in nicely with the tree.
Marzipan is a sugar glider that doesn't show itself very much at the moment, but is currently tucked into it's a little pocket, isn't it, on your collar?
Yeah, like I've got a cowl neck, and it's kind of hidden within the cowl.
So sugar glider is a flying mouse.
Yeah, so it's got great big eyes, and you can feel its heart going against you. It's panicking as much as you are. So Zamar, you're crawling, not crawling. You're crouching and moving back in the same direction.
I'm using my dash action as well, and my full movement. So I'm using dash, and movement, and I'm going as fast as I can, quietly as I can. So hopefully, good keeping that same stealth.
All right, so I'm going to do a thumbs up as well. So everyone is. We need like hand signals, don't we? Like. So Adalbert and Horathia, as you're jogging along, Zamar, you see the shape of Horathia sort of moving fairly quickly towards you, so you can rejoin them however you want.
I basically go hand out, and then sort of like. Okay.
And I'll find some place to conceal myself and indicate to Bran to do the same with hand signals.
All right. Bran will sneak into the shadows. Bar has also stopped. Adalbert?
I'll stop as well and message Zamar.
Okay.
What's up?
We were attacked by something. It killed or knocked both of us unconscious, and then it came back for Ellie. She's very, very bad state, but she's still alive. It attacks without warning. It is easily the most powerful thing we have ever encountered. Did you get that, Matt? Matt?
Yeah. So I got...
you dropped out there just at the moment. Shall I start again?
Something powerful. We were attacked by something. It came back for Ellie. It's powerful.
It's very powerful. Yes, that was it.
Cool. I messaged back via Stravi.
Looked like Lady Lycra. You haven't met her. No, six-armed, similar. From the Astravi world, probably. I move over to Horathia, and I will whisper the same.
Okay.
Just a general question, well, actually a specific question to Chris. Do we still have a certain item or item?
Yeah. Yeah, so I will, if I see, yeah, exactly. Okay, so I will see you there, and I will, I will, because I haven't mentioned this in front of Matt before, or anyway, I will message Horathia, and he says, twitching his bracelet.
Only
whatever.
Adalbert doesn't know this, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. But I'm not for the sake of the stream. Yeah. So I'm going to message Horathia. It's something out there. It moves incredibly quickly. It casts silence and darkness, and it killed both of us in one sweep. It's just incredibly powerful.
So you're saying it ain't an Australia at all? It's something else?
I'm saying it will kill you in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
don't attempt to attack it.
Don't bet on it.
That's all I need. So, I'm like, I basically fingering my sort of like holding my like 3 remaining good brays and counting up the remaining members of the party and thinking like, how many have I got to spare between them? Alethea is back that way. She was hurt very, very badly, but it attacks anything that moves if we're not silent. I will go back there and try to get in touch with her and see if I can but I think we might need Adalbert's help.
He can heal. All right, I'll try and get him there.
Okay, I will go back and see if I can protect her. I will see, and I indicate the direction, and so I sort of like, you know,
Yep.
and then like the number of yards, you know, yards or whatever, and then I will melt back into the darkness.
As a master of the arcane, did I notice what Zima was doing?
Let's say I wasn't hiding it.
Roll Arcana.
21.
I mean, I wasn't exactly. It wasn't that I wasn't hiding it, but I wasn't when I was doing the message. I wasn't hiding the fact that I was doing the message while I was doing it.
So I guess that
Obviously,
means.
I guess I'm stealth, so that's the problem.
Yeah, you are in the
guess I'm
darkness.
stealth
Yeah.
still. Yeah. So
Actually, so for
but he might know that I wasn't next to him when I was obviously indicating. There's obviously a conversation happening at range there.
Right, well, let's sort it out through the stealth roll. So the circumstances are different. This is a different person looking at you as well.
Fair
So
enough.
roll stealth again. Let's see, and roll perception, Adalbert.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so 14.
Also 14.
So as it's Adalbert looking for you, I think he will see it. So he sees you. Do you want to describe what he sees?
So he sees basically what you'll see is that Zamor sort of pulls his cloak around him, but he's reaching for his wrist as he does it and looking at Harathir, and then he starts whispering and pulls his cloak round. So he sort of moves his arms around and then covers his cloak, but you see him reach for his wrist.
Okay.
No, good.
Sorry.
Right, so Prath is next to Adalbert still. So he's going to look at him with a question on his face, you know, and sort of, you know, do this sort of motion at him.
Okay.
To me.
Yeah.
What's the motion say?
It's a, you know, I'm looking quizzical and I'm doing pointing at you and pointing at my ear.
Message. What the fuck was that?
It is bad, yeah. Now you follow me. Have you got any healing?
I respond, yes, but what was that?
What?
You and Zamor.
He's got some sort of bracelet thing. I've got a ring. He can talk to me using it. What of it?
When we've saved Alithia, we all need to talk. And it's kind of...
You got that right. Okay, so Rathir's gonna... I don't know how he does this, but obviously he wants to remain hidden, but he wants Adalbert to know how to follow him. So, I'll tell you what. I know where Zamar is indicated.
Yep.
So I'll say, well, I'll do this thing again. So I don't know how, he doesn't know how the messenger thing works. So.
Okay, so you're trying to attract Adalbert's attention again for a message.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adalbert contacts you.
And I'll describe where Zamar is indicated, just in case you lose sight of me. And then I'll head off in that direction.
Okay, are you going to use stealth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I'll check that Brian's doing the same.
Okay, so let's have stealth rolls from everyone, apart from Actually, I didn't get a new one from Zamar either. Let's have a return stealth roll from Zamar.
Oh, bugger. Well, at least
it'll
it'll
be fine. We'll just follow Bran's tail as it swishes through the air.
I don't know why Bran, every time I roll stealth for Bran, it's shit.
Well,
21.
Baratheon's was 22, so
18.
What?
sorry.
Oh, that's good, though. At least we're not going to die, so well, hopefully.
Wow. That's a very
That was
quiet
good.
party.
I know.
All right.
Need it.
Briefly switching back to Alithia. So obviously you're unaware of the little conversation that just happened, but while you're hunkering down, hiding against this tree, is there anything else you want to do?
Oh, I should know. Hold on. So I had 12, but then I gave 7 to Chris, and I've eaten 1. So that leaves me with 4, right?
Yeah, so in this time you could definitely have 4 good brews for sure.
Yes. So I would eat those 4 good brews.
Okay.
Actually.
Anything else before the welcome committee arrives?
Jesus. What can I do?
Don't know about anybody else, but I'm really tense right now.
No, I'm really relaxed, actually.
I'm going to take out some. I'm going to take out some what do you call it? Golden oil and ready it in one hand.
Okay.
And in my other hand, I'm going to ready a tinderbox.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Roll perception.
I'm in too much pain. I'm just like, I'm terrified and in pain. It's a 10.
Okay. All right, so the rest of you, Zamar, you arrive first. You get to where Alithia is hiding, and she's doing a pretty good job. So when you do arrive, you're going to have to say something or do something to find her exact location. But the others...
I will...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I will go... I'll try and make a noise like a tree frog or something like that. I'll go... But obviously better, because I can do that as a character rather than myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll nature, Alithia.
Wow, I'm rolling. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's a 13.
13. Okay, so you can hear a Zamar tree frog.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a sound. I'm fucking terrified.
Okay.
I'll start looking around. I'll start doing a circling pattern from where I last left her and start looking around.
All right, so to speed this up a little bit, Zamar, you do find the outline of Alithia, and Alithia, you do see the dark shape of Zamar as soon as you're in very close proximity. The rest of you turn up a bit later, but everyone is sneaking quite well, apart from Bran.
Can I quietly stand up? Wait, who's not sneaking well?
Bran is doing better than he ever has in this campaign so far. It's just that bar is not very high.
Tail's at half mast.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, you have all grouped back together.
So when Zamar comes and I realise it's him, can I quietly get up and like cling to him?
Sure.
And
No.
yeah, like shaking. And I'm desperately searching for comfort, which I'm not sure is going to be forthcoming. But I'm
Zamar doesn't know. Zamar doesn't know quite what to do about this. You're not riding me. And his arms are straight by his side, and then sort of a hand comes around and
I'm going to be crying a little bit silently. I can't bring on tears, unfortunately. I don't do that. But
okay, Zoma looks up for a thing and goes, and then shakes himself into character and goes, "It's okay. It's gone. It's gone. But we will need to remain quiet." And then shakes himself back into.
Okay, so what do you want to do as a group now?
I'm not letting go of Zoma, by the way.
Okay. Alithia is holding Zamar tightly.
Grappling. I again, not knowing what to do and feeling slightly uncomfortable, I push a good berry into her mouth.
I think if I see all this...
When he notices that, when he does that, I'll turn around and be like, "Oh, you're hurt." Actually, I won't say that. I won't say anything because I'm still scared. But do I notice that he's really hurt?
Zamar, how many hit points are you on at the moment?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to quietly cast a Cure Wounds at first level. It's my last one.
Okay.
So let me do that.
If I see her doing that, I'm like...
That's really good. I care for you at the moment. That's 10 hit points.
Bloody hell. Okay. That'll stop me being stuffing it anytime.
Right. So, sorry, I was going to say, is Alithia is not in wolf form anymore?
Alithia is in elf form now, yes.
Okay.
Shaking and clinging to Zamar.
And could you roll a stealth roll, Alithia, for your verbal component for Cure Wounds?
16.
Okay. You manage to modulate the voice so that it kind of follows the passage of the wind and the thunder. All right, sorry, go ahead, Harathia.
Right, so I'm looking at the map. There's foliage around our current location, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it look feasible to use this as could it be used to fashion a sort of shelter, a hide, if you like?
Yeah, so the map is kind of representative of the thicker, more obvious trees and jungle. But there is a lot of foliage around, not just what's on the map. There's plenty of material lying on the jungle floor. If you remember the ground itself, everything that was loose on the ground sort of rose up and then fell back down again. So there's a lot of stuff that's been torn up and broken off and so on. So there's plenty of material.
Okay, I'm right in saying that Baha knows hand signals, or am I not? I've got it in the back of my head.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna sort of point to Baha and Zamar and start hand signaling them.
Okay.
To the effect that I'll do it in Harathi's voice, even though
do it in Harathi's voice.
Yeah. Don't fancy trying to get these lot out of the jungle in their state. I say we cover ourselves up, wait till we've had a bit of a rest. Then we might stand a better chance.
I will move round and see if I can basically help anybody hide and get themselves hunkered down and quiet.
Okay. So, sorry, go ahead, Alithia.
What am I doing?
Oh, I thought you said something. So Zamar is helping people hide. Harathia, Baha are currently constructing some shelter that will also hide you. And Bran has gone off to the edge to create a bit of a perimeter. Mr. Harris?
Yeah, so I just sent you a quick question.
Okay. Alithia?
Like, I was clinging like a spider monkey. How is he able to help?
Well, are you going to continue clinging?
This is it. When I arrived, when I arrived and saw Ellie clinging and Zaymar looking really awkward, I would have kind of gone up and offered myself to Ellie.
As a replacement?
Basically,
Yeah.
I just basically tried to slide out, awkwardly away. I was like, Adalbert's here now.
Gonna look really terribly up at you.
I have work to do. It's like, as per normally eloquent, Zaymar starts failing. What is words? And slides out, sort of like moves one hand onto Adalbert, and then sort of like quietly moves, guides Ellie.
I'm gonna definitely think to Adalbert, and then I'm gonna whisper to him and be like,
Too much of a whisper.
Yeah. It's okay, you don't just say it normally.
I know you're speaking.
Yeah. She cut my ankles, she cut the tendons, and I'm trying too much for us.
Ellie, shh. And it starts kind of stroking her hair and kind of a very low hum.
I'll give him a sharp look.
I'm
What the fuck are you doing? Look.
I'm gonna put my hand over his mouth.
That's true. And while I'm stroking, I will cast Hall of Echoes.
Okay, so everyone feels themselves joining a abstract hall, but there's no welcome message, but there's certainly a welcome feeling that Adalbert is quite keen on adding to this. You can now speak to each other.
Did you include Bran in this? I'm just curious.
I can do 5.
No, Baha. Yeah, Baha
I can
might
do
be.
5, so everyone, including Bran.
That's okay.
Wait, including one but not Baha?
No, I can invite 5 beings.
Including
Plus
yourself.
5. Yes.
Oh, plus 5.
Yes. All of 6. And so in the hall, the first thing I kind of say is, Harry, it's okay. I've got you. Don't worry. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. We fucking ran off in a dangerous situation on our own, dragging that. You fucking dick, Zaymar. What the fuck were you thinking?
Trying to hang on for dear life, but the first moment I got, I was trying to slow her down, but otherwise she would have run off without us. Fortunately, I was there to save her, and then she was there to save me. But I think actually, given everything that happened, I think we actually, strategically, I think it was the best move. We now know what it can do.
Fucking bright that was. Almost get yourself killed. Yeah, great move.
Rathia, chastise them later. I think
the reason I think it's good is that we now know what it can do, and it didn't take both you and Adalbert here out at the same time, which you could easily have done. So I'm glad it was just the two of us, and now we are warned for want of its power. It looked like Lady Lacrene, the woman that we met passing through the portal at Lady Doraine's tower. Adalbert and Lithia, you were not there. This was some time back. This creature has bone on its arms, 6 arms. It's about 7 foot tall. Is that correct, Simon?
No, she is actually very short, 5 foot something.
Ah, right, okay. This one is shorter than Lady Lyra-Cream, so it definitely wasn't her, but it had blue eyes. Whether this is the princess or not, I don't know, or
So,
who.
are you saying that this thing is what was responsible for killing the entire boatload of people?
I thought those were bite marks, weren't they? Perhaps
Yeah.
Adalbert.
She got some sort of enormous mouth or something.
Certainly, I didn't see that, but you can't see anything. It's possible that the.
But with scales.
Ellie.
Yes, Lady Lyra-Cream was the same thing. In fact, it was. Sorry, go ahead, Adalbert.
It was definitely bite marks that killed the crew. But I wonder, Ellie, was this the same creature that we saw earlier, or is there another smaller one?
I don't know, because I didn't see the one before. But it was similar. There was the same darkness, the big area of darkness. Would I have smelt anything the first time around?
When you first were in the darkness, you had a strong sense of a strawberry smell from her.
Mine. I think it might have been the same thing.
Grown up.
I'm not sure if she's a child though. And I tried to, like, to calm a little bit and be non-threatening, and offer to help. I'm not sure what we're going to do.
I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to rest up, we're going to set a trap, and we're going to fucking kill it.
If it is a child, we can't kill it.
We can't kill a child. Is that what you're saying? The child who could wipe us all out, according to Zaymar.
It's not an Astravi, and I'm not sure if it's a child. Do I get the sense of that, actually?
She looked like her face was in her early 20s.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a child. I think it might be young, but not a child.
So we can kill it without Adalbert getting all fussy.
I will not be helping.
I don't know if we can.
It was
You
beyond.
It's...
I will not be helping. If you want to go and throw your life away, you can do so. We need to have another plan.
Ah, you're a fucking coward.
I am.
It's so powerful. It wipes me and my wolf form out in one blow.
Well, that ain't difficult. You lot spend half your time on your fucking bang. Let's see it try me.
Let's just remember
Be my
the
guest. I'm
crows, shall we?
looking forward to when I rule the roost.
I don't have any more spells, and if you go, I'm not going to be able to treat you or heal you.
That's why we're resting. You can get all your fucking spells back.
Let's just try a different tack. What we need is more information. If you want to set your trap, I'll help you do that, but we need more information first. This thing, whatever it is, we need to find a way where it doesn't kill us the moment that it hears us. So I suggest that we use the time that we have to hide ourselves and to rest, as Horathia correctly suggested, and then perhaps in the morning we will have a better idea of what to do.
Do you remember?
Perhaps in the light.
The Empress. We were able to hold her when she was taken by the corruption. Do you remember that? Adalbert?
Yes, I tried it in the jungle before, but I need to be able to see what I'm holding.
Would your moonbeam get rid of that darkness?
It's magical.
That doesn't answer me. Is that a yes or a no?
I don't
No.
think so.
It was interesting. We didn't have the darkness up all the time because we saw it when the lightning struck. Simon, it wasn't always covered in darkness, was it?
When you first saw it this session, there was no darkness.
But it was far at that point, is that correct?
It was what, sorry?
It was far at that point.
Did you say far?
Far away from us?
Oh, no, it's only about 50, 60 feet.
Yeah, but like more than 30 foot.
You were a wolf. I had a good look at it because I, for some reason, have dark vision now.
I mean, if I can see it, there's a possibility I can hold, but if it is a creature as powerful as you say, there's also the possibility it will break free from my spell.
If we both
The
held
most interesting thing about it was that it appeared to move faster than normal things that I have seen. Yes. There is something very, very special about this one. And I don't believe we even slightly... There is an interesting thing, though.
Go on.
It didn't kill me. And it didn't kill Alithia either. What it did was it stopped her from walking. This is very interesting. It clearly wants us to not follow it for some reason, but it is not actually lethal. I believe that if it could have killed us, it would have done. But it wanted to incapacitate us. So when I
Alright, so it's hanging around with something with a big fucking mouth that eats things.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know that that's here.
I can do a thing where I can use a rope to catch someone if they don't see it, and it's nearly invisible. And then maybe after that we can try and hold with both of us.
Perhaps. I suppose my thought is, it spared you before. If we pin it to the ground, when it gets free, will it spare us again?
I do not think we could even pin it. It's covered in blades. This thing moves incredibly fast. I think that even if we were able to secure it, I cannot imagine it would remain secured by anything that we could do for any amount of time.
So
We need a different plan.
The rope becomes empowered.
If you can get it prone, I can set to work with my fucking sword on it. Get it down so it's weak.
I do not think that is the answer, Harathir. I know that you want to protect here or you want to destroy this thing, but I don't think we should. I do not believe it wants to harm us. I think it merely wants to stop us attacking it, maybe, or to defend itself.
It doesn't want to harm you, and you said that you both got knocked down. I mean, totally down. Oh yeah, yeah. It's full of, sweetness and fucking light.
How long does your Hall of Echoes last, Albert?
An hour.
Oh, okay. Everyone roll perception.
Total of 20.
Nice.
6, 1.
22 with a natural 20.
Okay.
Fine.
What was the highest value there, sorry?
22.
22. Okay. Roll Arcana, Adalbert.
24.
So this is a little bit of a reminder because it's obviously been a few sessions since it was introduced, but the entire jungle floor is covered in black mist. You are near some rocks, but you've currently been walking around and kind of not really paying attention to that. You can now say that this black mist is gathering around all of your feet, almost as if the length of time that you've been on the ground has attracted more mist. So as you move, this mist is kind of floating around your legs as if it's going up your torso.
And the mist is encroaching again. It's everywhere.
Is it possible that it affected this creature, this Astravi? Assuming it is an Astravi.
Why are we talking about this? Let's get on the fucking rock.
Is the rock in the open?
The rock has got a tree and a bunch of bushes on it.
Okay, if we can move over there stealthily and quietly, then... actually, I mean, maybe... I'm tempted to go up this tree instead. If I think... What do I think I could do? Is it going to be... Which do I think it would be easier for people to do? Go onto the rock or climb up this tree that we're gathered around?
There's plenty of room on the rock, and you can focus your shelter on there as well. It was just really a reminder of the situation.
Right, okay. In that case, I will quietly try to help everybody move to the rock. Yeah, I see it's not actually far away, is it? It's just...
No. You're actually there already.
Right.
It's just that when you first arrived,
yes.
You weren't on it. That's all.
Yes.
We know the Astravi can be affected by mist.
Indeed, our good friend Stoic was
Quite.
not our friend for a bit. Is it possible that she got affected? I wonder. That would be the thing that I would try. Simon, can I remember back to when I saw her in that strike of lightning? Did I see anything that may have indicated to me that she might have been corrupted? It's like a moment.
Roll history.
Yeesh. Okay, that was a 5.
From what you saw, her eyes were quite clear and blue, and there was no clear mist. Roll Arcana, Adalbert.
I thought you were going to ask me to roll.
No.
17.
Alithia, roll Arcana.
None of my dice like me tonight. Oh, natural 20, 22.
It's like every session you have one of these moments. I'm no good at this. I can't possibly... Oh. All right. So, Adalbert, there's something sort of tugging at the back of your mind, but you can't quite draw the connection. Alithia, however, you immediately draw the connection that this creature is using magical darkness constantly. And the creatures that you've seen in the past that have been corrupted, they also have not just mist, but darkness coming out of them. So from a magical point of view, there could be some arcane connection between the two things, which means either the creature might be more susceptible to corruption, or the source of the power is similar. There's definitely something connecting the two.
I think the weird, snaky Astravi uses the darkness a lot. And the darkness is a bit like the corruption. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's bad.
I mean, we know that the Astravi are good. Well, we know that the Astravi are on our side when it suits them.
Not corrupted ones.
Exactly. So our ace in the hole here, as I regret to say it, is Adalbert. We need to find a way of uncorrupting this thing if we're to stand a chance. I don't believe that we can take it on with...
Look, we ain't got a box. We ain't got no way of forcing it into a box. So we do a rope, we do whatever Adalbert's got. I fucking hit it a lot with my fucking sword until they can't fight back, and then we lug it to Adalbert's box and shove it in.
Why don't we get the Astravi? Maybe they can help.
Or they could just carry us away.
Yeah. So bring the Astravi here. They all get corrupted and all. Yeah, great. Fucking brilliant.
I'm for leaving.
Look, we ain't going nowhere till we rest it up. You lot are fucking cripples. Tactful as that right now.
Are either of you seriously hurt? I may be able to help.
Zaymar looks like he's on 2 hit points.
No,
Oh no, you heard him, didn't you? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not. I'm on 12 hit points now. I'm on. Yeah, I'm very. I'm not well.
I'm almost completely fine between the good berries and the healing. I was slapped down on myself.
Okay. Okay. So, Harathi, I know you want to hit things. You generally do. But Zaymar and Ellie aren't weak no matter what you say. And even if you could get a few hits in, think of Bran, who, while very, very powerful, may not weather as many blows as you.
That's why I stand right in front of it and it just hits me.
And then when you are eventually knocked down,
Honestly, Rathian, I could take you down if I wanted to. And this is way stronger than me. So I suggest you buckle down and you pay attention for once.
Look, you don't get a say like that, running off into a fucking dangerous jungle when we know there's shit around that can kill us. Alright? So keep it shut, alright?
I was aware that was a child.
And we didn't think it was a monster that killed an entire boatload of fucking people around. Think.
I've actually been in contact with it. So I suggest you think.
this isn't helping anyone.
You're all sort of grimacing into the Hall of Echoes, having this massive argument without a sound.
There's just a lot of stern
It's just a lot of
between everybody.
Yeah.
Look, whatever we're doing, we're going to rest up here, all right? And when we got ourselves back out of some sort of fighting fit, then we'll make a decision then.
My concern, Harathi, we stay here, the mist continues out of the ground. What, we stay 4, 6, 8 hours? How long till that develops and grows and starts climbing the rock? What do you suggest? We climb to the top of trees and sleep?
Oh, here's a question for you, for Simon.
Yeah.
Is it actually getting deeper, or was it sort of crawling up us, sort of thing?
We're talking about mist, so it's hard to read. However, to answer that question, you could roll Arcana.
Oh yeah, let me do it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It'll be smug mode.
Do you know, this is such a shame. Well, it's not a shame. It's actually hilarious. I have to roll twice for reasons.
Yeah.
And my first one was a natural 20, but my second was a 3. So that's my score, a 3.
It's mist. You have no idea. It's mist does what mist does, right?
Any idea about what he's doing?
Sorry.
Can I get an idea what he's doing?
No, this was an internal monologue of Harathia's. Quite a short one, to be fair.
Yeah.
I do not want to be any part of an internal monologue.
Well, all right. I'll have a look at the rock then. How far below the top of where we are on the rock is the mist?
It's only a few inches off the ground most of the time. It was just when you were moving around, it seemed to start gathering around you.
Right. It doesn't look to me like it's going to come over the top of this rock. And I don't know about you. We're going to either try and creep through here without anyone at their best, or no fucking spells or any of that shit. Or we can stay here, hidden and safe.
I think we should stay here and rest.
I am unfortunately with Rathia on this one. this is the most sound thing that we can do at the moment, Adalbert. But in the morning, once the air is a bit clearer and we can see a bit better, perhaps I think we could summon the Astravi. But we can have that discussion then.
Very well.
So, Olivia, do something useful and make some good brew.
I can't do any of those. I can only put tomorrow.
All right, don't do anything useful then. See if I care.
I can make 10. More than you can do.
Look.
Yeah, but that's why you're here. You're the fucking nurse, ain't you?
Harathia is grumpy. I suggest you do not rise to his... let's just not rise to his...
Because I feel like
his
shit.
uncouth nature.
I'm going to turn into a small animal.
Which small animal would you like to become?
Something fluffy. What's a small one? Fluffy. Cat.
A cat. Okay. Alithia.
A black cat.
Alithia's shape suddenly folds down very quickly to a cat, which is very hard to see in the darkness.
I want something with night vision.
Cats do have night vision.
Cats got very good.
No, they don't.
You want something with actual dark vision, you mean? I think they might have.
Yeah, I think
No, they don't. They don't.
Don't they?
You know, elves, they've got dark vision.
All right, so as Alithia...
anyway, something small and fluffy. I'll figure it out, and then I'm going to, like...
A rat.
No, fluffy. Oh,
They have...
you have dark vision.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to turn into, like, a super fluffy rat.
Okay.
They do. Okay, fine. I'm gonna turn into a fluffy rat, and then I'm gonna
Nobody gets to call her Scabbers.
And then I'm gonna like scurry up to Adalbert, and yeah.
Okay. As Alithia scurries up to Adalbert, and you settle down into the darkness for a rest, with the jungle around you, the lightning flashing above you, the thunder crashing, and the sensation that you may well be watched. I'm going to end the session.
Owl. Black owl that can't fly.
You've got an entire week to choose an animal. I suggest you think about it, and then, well, you can let me know by Discord. However, we will stop the session here. So, as usual...
everybody. That was good.
I'm sorry for having a go, Chris. I feel awful.
What's that?
Sorry for having a go. Not you, Chris. Chris Roberts.
Oh no!
That was no, exactly.
Likewise, it's just it's all.
I know.
I know. It was brilliant. It was really good. Well done, everybody. That was good role playing there. I'm very proud of you. That was a proper grumpy elf session there. It was brilliant. It was really good. Everybody had really good points as well. Everybody had, really good... you could totally see all the angles there. It was really good.
Yeah, there's no right answer, is there?
No, it was brilliant.
Yeah, Bracket's got the right answer.
That is a very Adalbert response.
Oh, dear.
All right, so... As usual, I've got some questions to ask the players, and I tend to go around in the order that you can see them on screen. But if you have any questions about either this session or last session, then please do post in chat, and I'll do my best to ask them. What's that?
I would like to say thank you to the DM for not killing me.
It wasn't a favour, trust me.
Yeah.
Make it
Don't count your chickens. Later. Yeah, don't count your chickens.
First question is from Chaotic Stupid.
How would each member of the ruined keep have reacted if Alithia had died?
Ugh. I
I'll
actually
go first
have no
too.
idea. Sorry, yeah.
Set the scene, make everyone else feel awful.
Thanks for doing your background, by the way. That's
That's okay,
wonderful.
you know,
Adoration.
Bit of adoration going on. Adalbert would be honestly distraught. Ellie's the one who, his friend, the one who kind of looks out for him, and the one who kind of gives him purpose in the Golden League. So if she's gone, would Adalbert stick around?
So carrying on for that. So Zaymar, I honestly, for him, it comes down to and I've got to be sort of careful about this, the way he sees death is kind of inevitable, but it is always something that happens far off. He's always managed to sort of stay one step ahead of it, but he's always dealing out death to people, and so he is quite detached from it. And while he would be, I think the strange thing with Alithia, he would be genuinely quite sort of shocked to the core that he wasn't able to do something about that, and I don't know really how he would ongoing feel about that. I think it would basically, the key thing that I would think would happen to him is shock of some kind, which will affect you in ongoing ways over a longer period of time. To begin with, it would be not outwardly visible, but yeah, shock would go through him and various things like that, but not immediately grief or anything like that.
Okay. Garcia?
Yeah, I think it won't surprise anyone to hear that Garcia will be angry. But for not just totally simple reasons. He'd be angry at Alithia for running off in a dangerous situation, like we were sort of in the main street in Trillin or something. So he'd have been thinking, well, she deserved it, and been grumpy about that. He would have been angry because in his head, he's the only one who can actually deal with anything, like physically. And that's why he's in the habit of putting himself in danger so that other people don't end up being the target of something powerful. And he wasn't there because he chose to let her run off because he thought, well, she's being fucking stupid. So he, he'd have been angry at himself, he'd have been angry at Alithia, and he'd have probably been angry for some time because it's a waste of someone who's quite useful sometimes. And somewhere deep inside there might have been, something else, but no one would ever know.
All right. Question for Matt from me. Adalbert obviously feels as though he's always surrounded by ill-educated idiots. Does he prefer to hope they go away, or is he trying to elevate everyone around him?
I suppose, in his mind, what's the point in being knowledgeable and, above everyone if you can't remind them of that every day? So, that's the thing. He likes sharing knowledge. He likes kind of demonstrating how he's better than everything. So, but at the same time, it is lonely being that wonderful. So, the more and that's why he kind of enjoys kind of his time with Ellie when she kind of shows an interest in what he's doing, because then it's not, he's sharing that knowledge and he's got a little corruption protege and it's that relationship he likes. Kind of.
All right. I feel really sorry for your loneliness. Question for
It's hard
Mads.
being at the top.
Alithia is not the most cautious of characters. How do you feel as a player seeing the kind of danger she gets herself into?
I mean, as a player, like, as a person, I'm actually pretty cautious and, like, you know, I weigh things up and I look at all of the possibilities. Someone might call me pedantic even. So going for something like head first, that is horrifying to me. And then these sorts of situations that she ends up in, it is it's less than ideal. But it's a really interesting feeling, actually, to do something that's quite contrary to yourself and just kind of go with it, because it's almost like you get to be another person and experience what it'd be like.
So there's a follow-on question from
Mads.
that.
Yeah.
I know, exactly.
There's a follow-on question from Chaotic Stupid. Why was Alithia so driven to go after the creature? Even after it demonstrated the danger it presented, what was her thought process?
So this is Alithia. This is a little bit of me, actually, as well. This is Alithia being like a complete softie. And what had already previously been discussed is that this is a scared child lashing out. And there is this dangerous beast that's somewhere in the forest. So her thought process is go after it and calm the situation down and that it's not affected by the beast. Little did she know it was the frickin' beast, or a beast.
Another one.
Exactly.
Running out of beasts now. Let's not. Oh dear.
All right.
Running out of horrific beasts to count on our hands. Brilliant.
Question for Mr. Roberts. What did Horatia make of his sword's hesitation?
Well, I mean, he hasn't thought deeply about it. He's probably part convinced himself that he managed to restrain it a little bit. But honestly, his simple thought is that it couldn't see anything to attack, so it was a bit flummoxed. That's his assumption, right or wrong.
Okay.
Probably wrong.
I should say, I think I always push through these questions, but feel free to ask a question in chat. You can ask anything you like. Question for Mr. Harris. Zamar seemed pretty relaxed as he played around with Alithia. Did he feel the threat had gone?
For Zamar, the threat is always there. So let's say he just relaxed his guard long enough. But he also did fail his dex saves, so it's certainly not something that he would have wanted. He was. There is a slight part of him that's a little bit. That does go a little bit melty when Alithia plays cuddly, and he just doesn't know how to deal with it. That's the problem. And so his reaction is always sort of not fear, but sort of like he's just like it's something that he's incredibly unfamiliar with. He has no idea how to deal with this level of affection. Yeah, absolutely, in any way. And that's probably as far as I go.
Okay. All right, interesting. Question for Matt from me. Adalbert's relationship with everyone is based on a lot of words, especially from him. But with Baha, he's unusually quiet. Why is that?
Actions. Comments?
I would say it's not a meeting of the minds, let's say.
Harsh. That's very harsh.
I was just going to say,
Sorry.
this phrase kind of actions speak louder than words. Why say things when you can just smolder and look intently into his eyes and make him feel awkward?
When I wrote that question, I kind of felt like you'd say that. Okay, Mads.
That's brilliant. That's so good.
There's a lot of utility in the creatures that Alithia can become. That aside, what creature is Alithia most looking forward to being as she gains levels?
Well, technically, Alithia doesn't know what creature she can become. But I think a mammoth would be pretty cool. A saber-toothed tiger would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a saber-toothed tiger.
Is that for the teeth or the fur?
The teeth, the fur, the raw power, the ability to pounce, and something that could fly, like a pterodactyl. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question for Mr. Roberts. Horathia mentioned that he would wear a headband of intellect just because it's a useful tool. What tool does he most want to add to his arsenal?
He's got his sword, isn't he? Like another sword.
He's got two swords. He wants another one.
Well, swords are what he likes the best.
I could just imagine like 5 swords in some kind of weird wheel on your back.
Basically,
it's like...
yeah.
Right.
I think something that makes him do more damage, makes him more likely to hit something, more attacks. You get the idea.
More. Anything that more.
Yeah.
Okay.
More damage.
All right. Mr. Harris, what does Zamar think about being known as the Wrangler of Pigeons?
What? Sorry, you just broke up there. Sorry. What does Zamar think?
About being known as the Wrangler of Pigeons.
He's not known as the Wrangler of Pigeons.
I think you'll find it's on the internet. The proof is it's just there.
No, Zamar does not think that anybody calls him the Wrangler of Pigeons. There was a moment where Adalbert was saying something in jest, which he apparently took a little bit badly at the time and probably should have been more guarded in his response. But there's no such thing as him actually being the Wrangler of Pigeons. I refuse to entertain such a notion at all.
Okay, fair enough. Question for Matt. Adalbert studies... What was that, sorry?
I feel like Zamar, like the Muffin Man. He's like the Pigeon Man who lives in the Royal Keep instead of Drury Lane.
That's a song for Adalbert to compose later.
Do you know the Pigeon Man, the Pigeon Man, the Pigeon Man? Do you know the Pigeon Man who lives in Drury Lane?
Oh my gosh.
That's a clip right there.
Well, I think I know the next bit. Yes, I know the Pigeon Man, the Pigeon Man, the Pigeon Man, etc., etc.
Look, you're not going to start a sea shanty on this one, and if you do, I am signing off immediately.
Yeah, I agree, Chaotic Steward. We have a new theme tune for the intro to the session. All right, question for Matt. Adalbert studies all kinds of beasts, but how does he feel about them?
That's a very interesting question, actually. I suppose it's more, in that sense, it's kind of, he looks to Ellie with jealousy, because he can know everything there is about these creatures based on knowledge, apart from what it is to be them. There's these lovely philosophical questions like philosophical nailer. So what's it like to be a bat? But there's another one, Mary's room, and it's the idea. Mary lives in a black and white room. She has access to all the information in the world, but everything is black and white. She knows all the principles of light, all the aspects, and she knows the concept of red. But without seeing it, can she ever understand the qualia, the feeling of redness? And I think it's like that. I mean, he sees his creatures as fascinating. He loves sketching them. I mean, his notebook is full of anatomical drawings and designs. Like very early on in the campaign, it was just page after page of drawings. The first direwolf, he had seen muscles and jaws and skeletal picture-ups, but he'll never know what it's like to be a direwolf. And I think that's where there's kind of this envy of Alithia, who kind of can do that. And I suppose that doesn't really answer your question, but I think what it is that thirst for knowledge. He can know everything in the world, everything there is in the world about them, but he doesn't know what it is, and I think that drives him.
Good answer.
Yeah, no.
Great answer.
I was thinking though, if Frata heard of that philosophical question, he'd say, "Well, just stab yourself, make yourself bleed. That's red."
I'll turn you into one of these days.
Sorry?
Yes.
I'll turn you into some one of these days.
Yeah, it's like...
All right, question
Like
for Mads. As Alithia pushed through the undergrowth as a wolf and flanked the enemy last session, what was going through her mind?
Sorry, 1 second. Those bubbles have gone to my head. Undergrowth as a wolf, what was going through her head? Okay, I think it was just figure out what's going on, calm the situation down, you know, like protect this child, yeah, and like try and help the team, help the gang, because obviously this is quite like a dangerous thing, but she thought that it was a dangerous thing that could be sorted, fixed, without necessarily, you know, resorting to like lots of damage or lots of, you know, spells and combat, etc., etc. That's what she thought.
All right, cool. Question for Mr. Roberts. When Alithia and Zamar raced off and Brian went hunting, suddenly Horathia's gang was a lot smaller. Does he prefer to have plenty of people around him?
He just needs the right people for a job. That's his basic opinion. No, see, he's going to be fine, whatever. So he can have one person or 20 people and nobody. He's fine. He was slightly irritated by the fact that they just, you know, legged it into possible danger, but he wasn't. Well, I mean, as you can see, he just sauntered along. He wasn't like rushing to help them because he thought, well, they deserve what they get.
All right.
Yeah.
Question for Mr. Harris from Chaotic Stupid.
By the way, oh yeah, do you get that one? Okay, cool.
Does Zamar ever think to appeal to Aldrinor when things get really bad? A sort of Hail Mary approach, or does he not dare to?
Okay, so it's very interesting. I had a character in this same universe who would do that exactly, and appeal to a higher being as a sort of a Hail Mary approach. But Zamar has absolutely no idea of how gods even work. He has no... for him, he thinks it's just like they're casting a spell. So he can't do that, so he wouldn't attempt to do that. It's not... So when he sees any of this stuff about religion, he doesn't actually connect, like, that. He just thinks that they're saying the words, and it's just a different type of spell. So he doesn't even necessarily think that people are actually believing in this thing. He hasn't made that connection yet. He's just like, oh, it's a different type of spell. So Yeah. So he has made the connection between the ability to communicate or the ability to ask for things from higher beings, even having met someone like the Huntress. It's just, he hasn't quite put those things together yet. So no, he wouldn't do that.
I am looking forward to you trying that.
He wouldn't know how to. Like, what do you do? Like, say something in your head? He wouldn't even know. It's like he'd think he'd have to say it out loud or wave his arms around or something. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for your questions, and thank you very much for staying with us. We're going to end it there, and we'll be back next week at the same time at 8 o'clock. You're right there, Matt.
Yeah.
Sorry, like that wine's really gone to my head. I'm feeling a little bit woozy.
Okay. Well, it's fine. You're just live on the internet. Everything will be fine.
I know. I'm just like trying to hold it together.
Eat some good berries.
Yeah.
I know.
Keep some in the fridge.
Just before we sign off, Simon, can I have a message for everyone?
Of course.
That's okay.
Yes.
So it's about next week. So next week join the Pigeon Man, Pigeon Man, the Pigeon Man. Next week join the Pigeon Man and this golden company. Everyone.
Oh, damn you.
And on Friday, I don't know whether you're joining the Pigeon Man, but on Friday I will be talking to Matt about playing D&D, playing this campaign, starting out as a player fairly recently with 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, how it was to join my campaign in a different party, and we'll be doing that on Friday at 7 p.m. So please do join us if you want to hear how he felt in the first session. And thank you all for joining us, and thank you so much for Chaotic Stupid for supporting us, tweeting our stream. Go ahead, Mads.
Yes, thank you.
Big thanks.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you, all the people in the chat. That was great.
Absolutely.
Before we log off, big thanks to the two things. One is the Tabletop TV project run by our wonderful Chaotic Stupid Media. It is a wonderful project, and there are some amazing artists, streamers on there, so go check those out. We host some of those, and also thank you to all the people, all the streamers on the Hopes TTRPG Discord. You are all wonderful, and I log in and watch you whenever I can. So also, if people are tweeting or talking about that sort of stuff, follow them because there's some amazing content. But thank you, everyone. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye.